Hello, I'm Darren again. The topic for today comes from a question asking what is meant by the term malingering. So, in this video, I'll outline what the term has come to mean, give some examples of it, and some of the motivations behind the behaviour. Lastly, I'll look at the impact it can have on others. So, if you find this topic interesting, please consider subscribing. Now, the term malingering was first used to describe soldiers who tried to avoid military service way back in the 1900s. Since then, the term has come to include those who feign illness, injury, or distress for other reasons. Now, it isn't a medical or a psychological condition, nor is it a symptom of a condition. Rather, it's a behaviour aimed at manipulating others. It is the intentional exaggeration or pretending to have physical or psychological symptoms for a specific purpose or gain. Now, malingering isn't the same as factitious disorder, which is another type of feigning behaviour. Those with factitious disorder also pretend to have illnesses, but they don't necessarily hope to benefit from being ill. Usually, it's just for the attention they get. Now, experts consider factitious disorder to be a mental illness, whereas malingering is a manipulative behaviour. I would like to say it is important to note that many people can have genuine conditions and difficulties that impact their abilities and their day-to-day functioning. They are not malingering. But when some people do engage in malingering, it can have several negative effects on those who genuinely suffer, which I'll outline later on. So there are different kinds of malingering. First of all, there is pure malingering. Now, this is when someone fakes a disorder or an illness that doesn't exist. For instance, someone may claim to have vague symptoms of a fictional or a rare virus. Secondly, there's partial malingering. And this is when someone may have a genuine illness or a condition, but they exaggerate their symptoms. For example, someone may trip over something, but claim they are unable to walk due to spraining or breaking their ankle. Or they have to take a long time to recover because the cold they caught developed into pneumonia or something. Lastly, there is false imputation, and this is when someone attributes real symptoms they may have to a cause that is not actually related. For instance, someone might claim they've injured their back at work, when in fact they injured themselves playing sport at the weekend. Some examples of psychological malingering could be someone feigning a mental health condition such as depression or anxiety to gain special accommodations in certain situations. For instance, they are unable to perform or complete a certain task due to their distress. Another example could be someone pretending to have a mental disorder to avoid legal consequences, such as claiming insanity during a trial. Or someone could claim to be suffering from some kind of trauma as a way to excuse their own bad behaviours or to be able to control others. Anyone stands up to them, calls them out, or won't comply, they may claim they are being re-traumatized. Or there's those who may have a financial incentive. For instance, someone involved in a car accident, well, they might pretend to have sustained more severe injuries than they actually did in order to receive a larger insurance settlement. And quite common with covert narcissism, there can be the faking or the feigning of symptoms of illness, injury, victimhood, or indeed any kind of vulnerability to elicit sympathy and support from others. Commonly, there could be pretending to be emotionally wounded or distressed to manipulate others into providing special treatment, favours, or attention. And lastly, another form of malingering, not exclusive to but commonly seen on social media, would be exaggerated offence or outrage whenever someone sees something they don't like or disagree with. Some might behave as if they've been mortally wounded, and they react with exaggerated outrage and vitriol, often encouraging others to join in as well. So they're just examples of malingering, but whenever people do engage in malingering, it's usually those who genuinely struggle or suffer who end up paying the cost. Resources, whether they're medical, financial, maybe even emotional, they're often limited. People who malinger end up using up resources that could otherwise be allocated to those who are genuinely in need. And those who are genuinely in need usually end up suffering even more, not just because the resources are strained, but people who generally suffer from physical or psychological issues. They can experience frustration, stress, or anxiety when they perceive that others are malingering. The psychological impact can further exacerbate their own existing health conditions. Also, whenever people feign and exaggerate conditions, it can lead to skepticism about the legitimacy of others who genuinely suffer. Genuine sufferers may face prejudice or skepticism from others who assume that they too are malingering. Worst case scenarios, they may be denied support and the compassion they genuinely need. But for those who do engage in malingering, well, sooner or later it can erode sympathy, empathy, and patience among their friends, family, even healthcare professionals. And this may result in a reduced willingness to support or believe them anymore, even when they are being genuine. So, to summarize, people who engage in malingering typically do so to achieve some form of gain, such as avoiding work, avoiding consequences of their actions, avoiding responsibility, or perhaps obtaining financial compensation. Sometimes it's just to gain sympathy and attention from others. As much as it can be seen as manipulative and deceitful, in some cases it could just be a maladaptive coping strategy because they don't want to face a difficult situation. Those who are successful at malingering can have a negative impact on those who genuinely suffer and struggle, as well as a negative impact on society as a whole. They divert support and resources from those who really need them. And I know it isn't always easy to discern, but it is important to remember that not everyone who struggles with physical or mental health problems or are going through something distressing is engaging in malingering. Malingering often involves an agenda. There is intentional deception. So that's a brief outline of malingering. As always, if there's anything I haven't included, please use the comment box below. But if you find this topic interesting, please consider subscribing. And until next time, thanks for watching.